A fast-paced and physical practice for the Cowboys today inside the Ford Center at the Star. Welcome, everyone. It's Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford. Brad Sham and Mickey Spagnola. The pace of these practices is fast to begin with, getting quicker, and there was a lot of physicality on the field there today.
Oh, there certainly was. And, you know, when you were talking about the pace, so they got in the team, and I was sitting there going, okay, usually at 9 o'clock they take a break. And then they just kept going and going and going. And I'm going, oh, my, they're just going to keep going on. And then you saw a thumping.
Oh, well, I think it's the hit of camp so far. Remember, they're not hitting and tackling, but Leighton Vander Esch, number 55, your new middle linebacker, announced his presence to Tony Pollard, and he laid him out, and a coach had to come over and walk Leighton away and say, remember now, he's your teammate.
You know, and it's not the first time they've picked on Pollard, too. A couple practices ago, Jalen Smith hit him. And I looked and I go, oh, he saw 20, not 21, so he figured, this is okay.
You thought he wanted Zeke. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the safety position today because it might be the most competitive position starting next to Xavier Woods. There seems to be a battle between Clinton-Dix and Darian Thompson, but Woods is certainly the fixture, and he was talking today about the difference between the defensive scheme of Mike Nolan this year and the one they played last year.
I'd say the biggest difference would be just more coverages, more schemes, and just more in totality. That's all it is. Just more schemes, more coverages. I know the big thing is there's going to be more disguises. But yeah, I mean, that's the biggest difference.
So not only at the safety position has there been discussions in-house about free safety Earl Thomas, the Cowboys have added some players to that position also. Fourth-round draft choice corner Reggie Robinson, who looked like a safety when they drafted him. They've got him taking snaps at safety. And then Darryl Worley, a corner/safety who's been playing in the slot and outside, took some snaps at safety. So, Brad, they're obviously, it's kind of an all-comers meet in there with the first two guys that you mentioned, and adding more guys to the mix, along with Donovan Wilson, by the way.
Yes, Wilson's the second-year man from Texas A&M. He's had his moments, and Chido Awuzie didn't do a lot of work at cornerback today because he bumped up his leg a little bit making an interception yesterday, but he was out there in uniform and doing some individual work. Not serious, but it did allow some of the other corners, like as Mickey is mentioning, Robinson and Worley, to get some work at safety. Now when we come back, speaking of a young man who is making his way back, Connor Williams looks great rehabbing at left guard. Mickey's got that story when we come back on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, is brought to you by AT&T. Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store. And by Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. This segment is brought to you by Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store.
Welcome back. It's Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford. Cowboys left guard Connor Williams didn't do much in practice today, and that was to give him a day off because he's been rehabbing his ACL injury in his knee from last year so well. Mickey's got a great look at the third-year Cowboys guard.
Connor Williams, a 21-game starter at left guard over his first two seasons with the Cowboys, is now some 8 months removed from last year's season-ending surgery to repair a torn ACL, a surgery not easy to recover from. But he's starting to look good as new.
Obviously, it was a very long road. First ACL, and it's a huge injury, so I didn't really know what to expect at first, but slowly, day by day, head down, grinded. You know, I've been here all off season doing rehab and recoveries, and Britt Brown's done a great job with me trying to get me back on the field, and I honestly feel really great right now, and I feel better than where I left off last year, so I'm very excited for the season.
His surgery permitted him to rehab at the Star this entire COVID-19 interrupted offseason.
I would say just first major surgery, having to stay on top of that with ice and getting all the inflammation out, and then starting from, square one, no quad, no leg strength, and so just building your leg strength back up to playing strength.
And while some were expecting Williams to face some stiff competition for the starting job, the Texas X has been first up at left guard all training camp so far.
I think he's doing a heck of a job. I'm very impressed with Connor Williams.
Despite the injury, Williams knows 2 years of NFL experience is making a difference.
Looking back at it, at hindsight, as a rookie, I probably knew nothing. I've learned so much. I've developed so much as a player, on the field and off the field. And the year 3, I feel like I've learned a lot, and feel like I'm finally hitting my stride.
And for the Cowboys, just in time.
When we come back, a look at the competitive position for however many backup running backs there are going to be on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford.
This segment was brought to you by Sleep Number. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store.
Welcome back to Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford. Brad Sham and Mickey Spagnola. You can count for sure on Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard being two of the Cowboys running backs, and last year's fullback, Jameis Olawale, has opted out in the COVID plan this year. So now the question becomes, how many running backs will they keep, and how much opportunity can running backs coach Skip Peete give these young guys with no preseason games?
You try to simulate drills to try to provide that information for them as far as the contact, holding on the balls, the guy ripping at it, or raking it out. But it's nothing like a true game. Practice can be somewhat of a thuddish, but it's not take you to the ground, and as you're going to the ground, someone else hitting you. So all those things come into play when you have a preseason game. But we can't really simulate that here due to the fact that we don't want to injure any of our players. But at this point, I've been very impressed with all 3 of the young guys.
Okay, so the guys we're talking about trying to force this team to keep a third running back would be Rico Dowdle, a rookie free agent, along with Darius Anderson, TCU, and then the fullback, and I'm going to try and get this right, Sua Olonulua. I think I did it. He's the fullback, and he's trying to convince him, yeah, you do need a fullback on this team. But the one thing that Skip Peete also said about these young guys, Brad, that you're trying to make the team, we don't have any preseason games, and the practices don't allow us to see, will they hold on to the football? And that's number 1 priority as a running back.
Right, and then after that, how do you really tell how good they are at blitz pickup when there's no real tackling? And these are things you normally find out in preseason games. But Sunday night's scrimmage is going to give them maybe their best opportunity to do that. We'll have more to say about that as the week goes on. And tomorrow, no practice, but Mickey and I are going to tell you about some guys you should be paying attention to who not many folks are talking about. That'll be tomorrow when we come back on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Ford.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, was brought to you by AT&T. Sleep Number, the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, helps everyone from parents to pros improve their performance through quality sleep. Only at a Sleep Number store. Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. And by the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.